There's always a reason to cringe, isn't there? I was going through my ex posts on the homepage of Twitter here, and then I ran into this account. I don't know who she is. I don't know anything. Don't go and harass, whatever, 50,000 followers. But yeah, so there is this post which said the world would be a much better place if women just did this all day instead of working. Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious, this is giving me anxiety. Is she gonna fall? Is she gonna fall off? So, anyways, to this, Eve gave us this pearl of knowledge, feminist knowledge, that is. Quick reminder that the reason right wing men don't want women to work is so they can control us and force their partners to fully rely on them. Economic abuse is a real thing. Nonsense. You know, personally, I've never had a problem with the personal choice and freedom of individuals if a woman decides to choose a career or become a businesswoman instead of like finding a husband and getting married and raising children. I do think that in the long run, she won't be happy because I think happiness is connected to having children, finding love, and all of that kind of stuff. But that's, of course, my way of living life. So I'm not one of those people who wants to enforce his way of living or the ways that I think are the best to other people. So, hey, if you want to be a businesswoman, you be your businesswoman. But this is what really annoys me, is this, that the fact that this person here is not just telling us, no, for me, I love, the business idea, I hate the traditional family and whatnot, or perhaps the positive aspects of choosing the empowered, feminist, independent woman lifestyle. If that's what she did, I wouldn't even be talking about this. But no, it's the fact that they need to try and convince other people that the way traditional families are structured is bad. It's awful. It's economic abuse. So basically, I feel called in because my family is absolutely structured according to traditional values. I'm the one who works, and my wife helps me, but she's a stay-at-home wife. And so at the end of the day, yes, she's dependent on me when it comes to her finances, even though it's not her finances, is it? As it's our money anyways. It's our finances. We are a union. We are a single thing when it comes to our finances. But of course, with the idea of oppressed and oppressor, the fact that we can both share from the different roles that we freely choose and thrive with those choices and be happy, no, that's impossible because there has to be an oppressed. But anyways, I want to respond to this and kind of dissect it piece by piece. The first thing I want to address is this concept of economic abuse. Yeah, let me make this clear. My wife will never need to work one day of her entire life ever again because she said yes to me. That means that I'll provide for her and for our son, whether it be in abundance or in hardship. Me providing doesn't change. As a traditional man, if we ever need more money in this family than we currently have now, then I'll be more than happy to do multiple jobs myself while she stays home. And to be specific, she's free to work. She can choose to work if she wants to. All I do as her husband, all I do as a man is to provide the ability for her to stay home and not have to work. She wants to do something, she wants to have a little side business, well, she can do that. Yet, even though she has her social media things, she does her whatever hobbies, she chose not to do a 9 to 5. She chose not to go back to whatever work that she was doing before, which, by the way, she hated every second of it, because Kenzie loves being a stay-at-home wife. And that's what she wants to. You see, this is the thing that people like this don't understand, is that it breaks their brain and completely destroys their worldview when there can be a woman who is in fact happy to be in a traditional marriage with their husband providing for her while she's a stay-at-home mom or wife. It breaks their brain. It doesn't work because it's supposed to be an abusive relationship. It's supposed to be in chains. But the reality is instead that with me providing for her, I freed her. She's free. I let her spread her wings. She can do whatever she wants. I mean, of course, she helps. She does those things that I can't do, like she takes care of the house because I'm busy working. It's teamwork, right? It's teamwork. And what she does is very valued. When she makes a meal and we both eat, well, that's allowing me not to spend time making a meal. Sometimes I do because I make a killer pasta and sauce. But I'm saying when I don't, and she does, and then I get to eat that. I know it's stupid that I have to explain this, but it's beneficial for both of us, because then I can spend that time that I would have had to dedicate to making the food or perhaps cleaning the house. I can spend it into making money, so then we are richer and wealthier and we both benefit from it. But the major thing that I want to focus on is that she's happy. There are plenty of women that are happy of the freedom of staying home, because again, after she takes care of the things she needs to take care of, if she wants to spend the entire day playing with a Switch, I'm happy that I can give her that freedom. And I would do 3 jobs. I would go work in a coal mine with a pickaxe to make sure that both my wife, my child are provided for, they have a roof over their head, they have food on their table, and they can pursue their dreams. And you see, that's the other point that I want to make. You say that you are complaining about right-wing men, but the reality is that what you are describing are men. Men. That's what a man is. A provider and a protector. That's what a man does. Provide and protect. Do you still, that's the thing that I really don't understand. Do you really, how many women out there, whether you be for like, yeah, girl, do your business, get the bag, fine. But do you really dislike, how many women out there hate the idea that when you go out on a date, the guy pays? That when someone is trying to rob you, your husband or your boyfriend defends you because the assailant is stronger than you statistically? How many women hate the fact that you can be free to do whatever you want? You don't have to go to actually do a job that you hate. Because do remember, I know that when they think of this idea of the empowered, independent woman, they always think of a woman who is a millionaire, has a business, makes whatever the heck, sells makeup, or perhaps, you're thinking of this woman that is doing all these stocks and is making a fat stacks of freaking Taylor Swift. Yeah, that's like a minute percentage, but the reality is that the overwhelming majority of people who have a job are doing something they absolutely hate, and they have to do it. They have to grind for 10 hours a day, sometimes 12 hours a day, doing a job that they really dislike, because that's what pays the bill and that's what you have. Okay. Now, of course, it's not always the case. You've got women that have degrees, right? And high degrees, in fact, PhDs, and maybe she's a historian, or maybe she works at a lab. Well, good for her. That's fantastic. But it's unbelievable to think that that's going to be a representation of each and every single one of you. It's not. And in fact, statistically, when it comes to the maths involved, if you do choose to live a life whereby you're going to work, you're going to be independent, you need no man. Okay, well, I of course wish the best for you, but it's more likely that you end up having to do several jobs that you absolutely hate. And all of this is without even considering the fact that what if you find a man who loves and respects you? I personally wouldn't give up that for a career, but it's up to you. It's like love is never in the equation. It's all a matter of, oh, men are abusive, men want to control you. Or in this case, it's I need to own the Chads, these right-wing men. And I'm not saying that there aren't some people that are like that. Absolutely, yes, it is a thing. But here she says, quick reminder that the reason right-wing men, all right-wing men, well, I am a right-wing man, moderately right, but I am a right-wing man. And it's not true that I don't want my woman to work because I want to control her. It's false. And you live in a bubble, you live in an echo chamber, you live in a fantasy world, if that's really what you think. And if it was true, then my wife would be screaming at me every day. But we are happy together. And this system works perfectly. In fact, she's very grateful. And that's one of the many things that I love about my wife, because she's gorgeous. But to be fair, looks alone are not going to cut it when it's going to be a situation of this is the person of your life, this is the person you want to make a family with. And one of the things I love about my wife is that sometimes she just comes to me. And in fact, I'm going to say this for all women out there. Sometimes she comes to me as I'm working, as I'm editing, as I'm filming, as I'm doing my research for whatever it is, and she just tells me how grateful she is for the work, for the fact that I have given her an opportunity today to not having to do anything because she's free. She hated the job she was doing when we started dating. And at one point I told her, look, if you don't like it, just quit. She hated the supervisor the supervisor was abusive. Absolutely. My wife couldn't, my girlfriend at the time, couldn't even go to the toilet for 5 minutes, and the supervisor was like, go back to work. And then she was so stressed, she was crying all the time, and I told her, just leave it. Don't worry about it. And she said, but how are we going to pay the rent? I said, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. That's abuse? How? So yeah, I mean, whoever you are, no hate towards you, although again, you probably hate me for what I just said. But I'm just going to say this. You live in fantasy land. You have this warped vision, distorted completely by left-wing propaganda when it comes to right-wing men. As I was saying, yes, there are some men that are like that. There are some men that are controlling. There are some relationships, in fact, that are toxic. And by the way, there are women that are like that. Women that just want to take every penny from their man and then for luxury and stuff while the guy is working like a maniac. Like, there are situations like that too. There are women that are abusive and there are men that are abusive. And in fact, there are toxic relationships. But this has nothing to do with right-wing men. Some. You know, it would really go a long way, first and foremost, if you qualified numerically and also accepted that, yes, traditional values and traditional families can work, can lead to fulfilling happiness. And that's just the truth. Now, whether or not you have a problem with the truth, that's a you problem. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth.